by the time you guys are listening to this, but we are definitely gonna all go to Bone Town.
Okay, we're starting this all over again. Literally. First of all, you stole my thunder. Do you want to close the show?
No.
No.
I just wanted to say Bone Town.
This is Woahman.
Are you guys kidding me?
Literally no.
Oh my god.
Michelle.
This is Woahman. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Woahman. If you noticed, we're the four eyes this episode, except for Esther.
Yeah.
Also, I'm wearing my old glasses because I had a really stressful morning and I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in and welcome back. Guys, welcome. It feels like a long time since we've done this, but it's really, we're on schedule.
It's
so
not, and
I don't
frankly,
know why.
I guess it doesn't even matter to them. They have no idea.
They don't care.
You guys don't care.
You guys don't care.
You just hear us
I don't even care.
when we put it out.
Yeah, true.
I don't even
So we are coming to you a day before Valentine's Day. So we hope that you guys feel the love. Actually, I believe that today is Galentine's Day, isn't it? February 13th is Galentine's Day.
It's like, yeah.
This
This
when
is
you
our
celebrate
Valentine's
with your
Day.
friends.
Oh,
We're
cute.
celebrating.
Valentine's Day.
We're holding hands now for the
Reached out
listeners.
this hand.
Oh, this feels like
We
some
just connected hands
pentagram
for anyone
Yeah,
listening.
That sounds like some magic. Anyways, let's check in about our weeks. This week, I'm actually going to ask you guys to please reflect on your New Year's resolutions.
Thank God you directed that because I
man.
don't know what I did for the past hour.
I'm going to
so.
just... no, I'm going to ask you guys to check in on your New Year's resolutions and see how you're doing. We're all going to do it, not just them. Because I know they're feeling I'm doing well, but we will all do it. Bod.
How am I doing?
How are you doing?
God, I don't know. I almost feel like I've just been like in a haze through January. January is like such a weird space. Yeah. And now it's like February and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of waking up a little bit.
Oh, God,
But
I
like
feel my
low
insides
key,
tingling.
for our loyal listeners who remember, Brittany's goal, one of the main ones, was Woahman. So
Yeah, that's true.
you're kind of like kicking ass.
Well,
True.
In that
I mean,
respect.
debatable for real.
I mean, we hit 200 followers on Instagram.
Oh,
you.
yeah, thank you.
So thanks, guys.
It's actually true, though. She's been hustling on the side.
Her
You
name.
guys can actually hear her on Shalisa Marie Radio, repping Woahman.
Yeah.
So check it out if you guys want.
Yeah, that was actually my week, if anything. Which was
your
part
whole
of my
year.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is part of my goal.
Excellent. So we're hitting.
Yeah.
Esther?
We are not hitting. I mean the main one.
I remind Esther of her goal every day. I text her at 9 p.m. You guys, what the hell else can I do? I literally harass her.
I'm supposed to be reading. I don't like reading. And I can't. I have been on the same chapter of a book I've been reading. And I've made it 3 more pages since probably the last time I told you that was my goal.
Oh, man.
Recently, I switched books and I was doing much better. And I have fallen off that again in the past 5 days.
That's because I haven't been reminding you.
Exactly. So I need someone. I need someone to be pushed. But what?
And I'm a pusher.
I
And
need
I'm a
need
pusher.
to be pushed by someone. There we
And
go.
I'm a pusher.
I'm a pusher. I
So-
push people.
I'm a real pusher.
I don't know. Let's
That's
hope.
from Mean Girls.
I know.
I hope that by summer I will have read 1 book.
That's a
That is all.
fair
Thank
goal.
you.
I think, yeah, that's a
I
good
will
goal.
not tell you how many books I read because it will sound braggy.
Yeah.
In comparison. 8.
How are your goals going, Michelle?
Good. What was my goal?
Nailing
again?
them.
She's like,
I'm
cut it, cut it,
absolutely
cut it.
nailing all of
Obviously,
them.
yeah, I've obviously been nailing all of them. No, I'm still working out. As I said I was going to. I'm doing the program that I was doing. So, yeah, 12 weeks will be at the end of March. So then I get a present. That's really why I'm doing this, is for the presents at the end of every 12
What's the
weeks.
present? What do you mean?
Like every, like,
Treating herself.
yeah, so it's like a 12-week program.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of every 12 weeks of it, I'm going to buy myself a present.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's your own thing.
Yeah, just
okay,
like to
nice.
reward myself. So
Sweet.
my first present, I actually already bought it yesterday, but I'm not going to wear it until
Oh, okay.
12 weeks.
What is it?
I bought myself a matching pair of leggings and a sports bra from this company that you guys should definitely check out. It's called Girlfriend Collective, and they make really good athletic wear, and they make them all out of recycled water bottles. So you're actually doing a good thing for the environment. So honestly, I think we've all been doing good on our goals.
Yeah.
Except for, no, but Esther has been doing well on her fitness as well, but she's not talking about.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't like my biggest goal in the sense where like I feel confident in that I am going to stick to my fitness, and I have so far. Thank you, Michelle, for pointing that out. It's the books that I know I suck at. So I feel like I should prioritize that and try to actually achieve it.
Also, I want to say, because I sounded really braggy and like self-promotional.
Actually 10
No,
books.
I have no, it's I have actually been sucking at the goal of doing things on my own. So
Oh,
because that was my
fair.
other
God,
goal. Yeah, I've been
goal.
sucking at that. I've really hated it, and every time I have the opportunity to tell somebody to do something with me, they will be doing it with me. So I need to make a better effort to really be doing things on my own.
Codependent.
I'm codependent as hell.
That's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay. All right, guys. So we've done this before where I kind of open up the topic with a question about yourselves. And it's funny because the last time I did this was for the Victoria's Secret topic. And this is similar because it's about boobs. And we're just going to throw that out there right away. It's about boobs and nipples. And I just want to know, before we even break it down, as far as, like, body image is very extensive. We could talk about being objectified and body image in many ways, but I really want to focus on boobs here. So I want to know your first experience with your boobs, and I'll start with myself so that you kind of get what I mean when I'm asking you this. So for myself personally, I remember being literally in grade 6, not even wanting a training bra, but at the time my sister worked for Lizenza. She had this discount at Lizenza Girl.
Oh my God! First of all,
Ooh,
you're saying
Lizenza
that
girl.
so Spanish.
Lizenza?
Yeah, I was like,
Lizenza.
yeah,
I don't know.
I was like, Licenza.
Yeah. I was like, say it some more. Anyways, continue.
Well,
Sorry,
she had the discount at both Lizenza and Lizenza Girl. And so I remember being in Lizenza Girl and my mom being like, yeah, like, you're going to need these now. Which I'm like, okay, you're noticing something I'm not because I don't have boobs, but okay. Which I think I really did need it. I just was in denial. And that's how I treated it. I was in denial. I didn't want my boobs to grow. I literally vividly remember pushing down onto my chest and saying to myself, like, please don't grow. Because in my mind, my boobs growing was me growing up and getting older. And I was like,
so significant to you.
Yes, I was very scared of, like, growing up. Like, I had a thing where I wanted to be young forever. Like, even at the age of, like, what? That's 11, 12 years old.
Oh, my God.
So I got my first training bra, wore it to school. And one of my best friends was like, Esther has a training bra. And I was literally, like, mortified because I'm like, why would you even say that out loud? That is the first experience I can remember with my boobs.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
I can heavily relate to that kind of experience with my boobs because one, never really wanted them. And then they just showed up one day and they showed up excessively. So my first I guess memory is definitely being like, okay, wow, we just skipped the training bra and I had to get a real bra.
Yeah, I never had a training
wow.
Yeah, and so that was like a big deal for me and I felt so different and like I had to go to the store and like I was in like, you know, the older girl section and I just felt like something was wrong with me because no one else was doing this is what I felt like.
Yeah.
And I guess I was like more earlier, like matured. Like I was on the earlier side for sure. So I didn't have that feeling of, oh, like everyone else has them and I don't. I was definitely the one that had them and no one else did. And it was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm different. Yeah, and I think, I always had a very bad relationship with my boobs, to be honest, younger. Always wanted them to be smaller. I was always very active. So they just got in the way. And like, I just felt like everyone around me didn't have that issue. And like sports bras and like things were just like not comfortable. And I think it was also harder finding bras back then. Like, it was really taboo to talk about, like, whatever. And one of the most, like, I guess, defining experiences was I remember my dance teacher told me that I had to lose weight so that I could fit into this bra that was a costume that we had for like, this was when I was like probably like 12 or 13 or something.
That's crazy.
And she told me, she told my mom it didn't fit me because it was like the smallest little piece of cloth, like seriously. And like everyone in my dance group was smaller. And yeah, like she told me like, oh, you know what? She could lose a few pounds and maybe the bra would fit. And then I started associating my boobs with my weight. And then that was really bad
like
too.
Traumatic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like I truly think I was like, wow, I
Traumatized.
realized that experience was traumatic because I never forget it. And I always think of like, okay, like if I lose weight, my boobs will get smaller. And that was always my thought. That was my only option was like to lose weight and then my boobs will get smaller. Because, you know, when you're younger, you Google stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if, how do you shrink your boobs? Or
Yeah.
like, how do you
Yeah,
hide
still
them?
Google that.
I used to wear like,
God.
yeah, or do
It's
anything I could to
crazy.
hide them
Yeah.
because I always thought it made me look bigger than everyone else.
Oh, I still do that to this day. I literally don't wear normal bras and nothing with like an underwire or a push-up because I'm like, clothes look cuter on you when you don't have boobs, like for sure. But my first experience with boobs, I don't have a defining one. Like I've been trying to think this whole time.
That's okay too. That's in
Yeah.
a way your experience too. That
Yeah. Like I definitely
Notice it.
I didn't realize how early I got boobs until actually last night, which is so weird because I was reminding my mom like, Mom, do you remember when you sat me down for the period talk? And I can remember that moment very definingly because I
Yeah.
sobbed. Because I felt like she told me, and once I knew, I couldn't like stop it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, why would you tell me this? You just gave it to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, my mom was like, I had to sit you down so early. Like I was 11 or 10 when she did that. And I was like, why'd you sit me down that many years in advance? And she was like, Michelle, you had boobs since you were in grade 1. Like you had boobs from the time you were a very small child. Like you developed boobs really early. Like I thought you were going to get your period at like 11. Like I thought you were going to be one of those girls who
Interesting.
got your period so early. And I got my period at like 13, I think. So
Yeah, I
whatever.
think
But
same.
I guess like I grew up in a house full of girls. So I didn't really think about my boobs other than my mom would always harass me my whole life. Anytime I was in a bathing suit, it was like, Michelle, like pull it up. Like she would always like pick on me in a way that she didn't with my sisters, like always very eagle-eyed, like if I was showing too much.
Yeah,
Like
for
very like,
sure.
Michelle, pull it up, pull your shirt up, like cover your boobs. Cause I can literally remember being at a million pools, a million beaches, and her whispering and mouthing to me like, pull your shirt up. Like, and it was always just like, oh my God, like it was
Like,
so
you could never
annoying
stop
to me.
thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that too. That was me out. Yeah, because if you have bigger boobs,
Yeah.
like it's like this thing where you always feel like
Especially
self-conscious
in front of
showing
male
too
relatives.
Yeah.
Like,
that's uncomfortable.
yeah, like us being at the pool, like half these memories for me, I'm around male relatives. So I know she's trying to do it because nobody wants to look at their 13-year-old niece with their boobs spilling out.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have
I'm a
boobs. Like, I don't know
kid,
what to
like-
do. Like, I'm not trying to do this in a sexual way. I literally
Yeah.
just want to swim. But, yeah.
Well, I was thinking about the fact that I was so anti-boobs when I started getting them. And also, I was like an A cup until probably grade 10. So it's not like I had big boobs ever. I just didn't want them when I was younger because of what I associated with that. Like, meaning I was growing up, my life was going to, like, start going faster.
Yeah.
Anyways, once I hit the B cup is when I was like, I wish I was a C cup. Like, I started feeling more like, now I want my boobs.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
wish they
just gonna
came
say
in.
there was a point in high school where like they definitely were like the focus of me. Like I was always hoisting those things up. I
Yeah.
would wear padded bras. Like you wanted that cleavage because if you were gonna have them, then you had them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got into university, I started dressing down, and I definitely dress them down all the time. Like you're not gonna catch me in like low rise stuff for the most part. Like
Which is such a shift where you kind of like, I feel like, find your own in your body image and like,
And how you want to present yourself, how you want
Yeah.
to dress. Yeah.
and I know that like there's also like we've talked about like having a big butt or big lips, all these things, but the thing about boobs is that I feel like because they're on the front of you, on your chest, and like your face is right there, depending on your boob size and in our society, like that will and how you dress for it will immediately give someone their first impression of you.
yeah.
So that's why I was reading a story, and it was an opinion piece and it was about Alejandra Campoverde. So she was the first White House Deputy Director of Hispanic Media. And I was reading about her story where the story was that she was getting a mastectomy. And it was because she carried a gene. It's the BRCA2 gene, which means she has an 85% chance of getting breast cancer.
Oh, okay.
Her mother before her had it. Her grandmother had it. And like, the thing with her and her story about her boobs is that she went to Harvard, you know, she's a very educated woman, and she wanted to join the Obama campaign and work for free, like, just to be a part of the campaign, to be a part of something that she really believed in. Lo and behold, that eventually gets her a job. But her walking around the White House, like, all these headlines started coming out, like, oh, the White House has some new hot staff now, because they figured out back in 2004 when she was in college and trying to make money to pay for college and all of this, she was a Maxim model. So that's like bikini spreads, like boobs out. And the interesting thing about her is that she has like a back and forth relationship with her breasts where she was a late bloomer. Like, it wasn't until she was like in her early 20s that she finally started, like, they finally started growing in. So she was like all like sad and thought she never would get boobs, and suddenly they came and she decided to like be a model. And like, now they're kind of coming against her, like, you know, she's very intelligent, but now because of how she chose to make her money and like support herself back then, it changes how people see her now when she's working in the White House. So I just thought that was very interesting, because now after all of that, she's getting a mastectomy, and it made her realize like her femininity wasn't necessarily in her having breasts or how people saw her because of them, but it was through like her courage to make that decision for herself to have them removed to end that kind of lineage of like breast cancer in her life. And I was like, wow, like, she did say this one thing that kind of stood out to me, and it was that having boobs made her like feel like a real woman. Like, finally she had boobs. And I'm like, it's interesting because this is how it all ties together, right? This month, if you guys saw the Super Bowl, there was a huge backlash between Maroon 5 and Adam Levine showing his nipples. Like, he took off his shirt, he was shirtless, and in the comparison to when Janet Jackson had an accidental nip slip. So before we get into that topic, it made me realize, like, wow, like, we literally give boobs so much power, like, so much meaning. But then her saying these make me feel like a real woman reminds me that there are transgender people who are transitioning from male to female, that for them getting that surgery, not for every transgender person, you're all different, but from a lot of stories I've seen online, like, getting that last surgery of like getting your boobs is like that defining moment for them, to make them feel like a real woman. And I'm like, why do we like,
but that's because we definitely put that out there.
We put on this pedestal. So literally, guys, I was searching Janet Jackson nipple. That is all I typed into Google. The first thing that pops up is a wiki page, but it's not a normal wiki page. It's literally labeled incident. So like, but here's the flip side. If you search Maroon 5 nipple, you don't get any incident reports. You don't get any. You just see, the only reason why it's even on Google is because there's backlash from when Janet Jackson had a nip slip. Literally, it's a nip slip, guys. Like, she did not mean to show her nipple on stage. It just opened my mind to be like, why do we give it so much power?
We do.
To do this to us. Like, in a way, it's empowering. Like, as a woman, like, you want to have breasts. But at the same time, there's so many people who go through breast cancer and lose their breasts. Does that make them less feminine? No, that shouldn't be the case. So,
you're right.
What is your take on, like, things like the Free the Nipple movement, or like what? Because I was having this conversation with my boyfriend, everyone, and I realized I don't know necessarily where I stand, in the sense that I'm not against Free the Nipple. Like, if I see a girl walking down the street from me shirtless, I am going to notice. It's not the norm. I am going to be like, okay, she has her shirt off, like, whoa. But it's very different for me than, like, someone sitting next to me, like, let's say on a bus, and she's shirtless and, like, right next. That's a little different. So I was going back and forth. I'm like, what do I feel about this free the nipple? So
Yeah.
and just like women and their breasts, I feel like breastfeeding is there's so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of different, I guess, factors in like free the nipple too, because like breastfeeding, that's like another, I feel like,
still
area.
baffles me that people will walk up to a woman breastfeeding in a mall and be like, you really shouldn't do that in public. Like, actually say that to her in like 2019. Like, men will walk up to her and be like, there's rooms for you to do this and like you shouldn't do this in public. Like, that happens a lot. And it's like that's literally like their one purpose is to feed a child. That is literally
really and truly
their only purpose. Like, they're being put to good use. Like, sorry, they're not in the porn you watched last night.
Yeah.
But they're actually doing what they're intended for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boobs literally have always confused me because I'm like, men love boobs for the most part. Obviously not every man. But this like patriarchy has sexualized boobs to this point. And I'm like, but like, you don't think your mom's boobs are hot?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, I don't understand. Like, you don't think your
true.
grandma's boobs are hot?
Yeah.
So, like, what is it about boobs? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, they're literally just bags of fat.
To me, that's always been my process. It's like, I truly, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't get why guys think they're so great.
No.
Because, like, why
It's
are they
weird.
why are these such a big deal? Because to me, I'm like, it could be like any other part of my body that's like irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
It's
any
literally
other,
like a little more juicier than my elbows.
Yeah.
like,
you know what I mean?
they
Like,
both come to, like,
what
a
if
point.
we like decided, like this little piece of extra skin here, like what if that was sexualized? Like, you know what I mean?
And
like,
it's
what?
literally our society turning anything. And, you know, it freaked me out when you just said that porn thing because it's like, sorry that it's only convenient for you to like boobs when it's in porn.
Yeah.
But when I whip it out, which I don't have kids, I have not done this. But like when I will whip it out one day in the future when I'm breastfeeding my kid, like it suddenly offends you, which I can understand to an extent if I have to put myself in the position of someone else. But like, first of all, why are you staring? Second of all,
I was like, just go
it's
away.
not a big deal. Like, the baby needs to eat. It's literally not a big deal. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it happen on the TTC. And like,
I'm sorry, are you
over
being
it.
caged in with this woman while she does this? Like, no.
like, you're not being
Truly,
subjected
you have a chance to look
watch.
away. You have the chance to
You
leave
have
the
free
area.
will. You actually have
can
free will.
literally just leave her alone. I don't know. Like, I obviously completely support free the nipple because to me, it's not an issue of if a ginormous, sweaty boob hanging out lady is gonna sit next to me on a bus because you have to wear clothes in public anyways. Like, that's always gonna be the rule. But to me, like, it's just equal opportunity. Like, it's literally just the fact that why does it jar me to see a woman on a beach in Europe topless? Why is that like there's a moment of like, oh, that lady is topless, and then you feel like you should look away, but then you're like, wait,
whereas some people are not phased
some people aren't
in that part of the world.
And I almost feel like it's Western culture.
Oh,
sad
for
to say.
sure.
We make so many things so weirdly sexualized. Like, it's true. Like, when you just said it, in Europe, even parts of Miami, which is like, it's
even parts
super,
of Miami specifically.
Like, because there's a bunch of
honestly
nude beaches in
Miami
Miami.
there's nude beaches in
Okay,
Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
let's go back to Europe. You're right. But yeah, look, I really think that Western culture, we like to profit off everything. We like to sexualize everything. I find it interesting, and that's why I appreciate more recently I've watched the show Big Mouth on Netflix. I know you guys have watched it too.
Love.
And I really like how they break down Gina's the character Gina in the show when she's developing breasts for the first time. I recommend you guys watch the show because you will appreciate that episode. Basically, they highlight a character going through puberty, and she's actually an early bloomer, and it really makes you see like that is how it is.
The way that everyone like will treat you differently or like look at you weird, and then everybody
Yeah.
knows that like something's up. Like
Disappointed that there was backlash between Adam Levine and Janet Jackson because literally up until this moment, up until today, I didn't realize that it was a wardrobe malfunction.
Wait, you didn't?
I didn't know.
I remember
You
that
thought
story.
she just flashed everyone?
All I knew, first of all, I'll personally say I'm never invested in the Super Bowl shows unless it's an artist that I really like.
Yeah. I just
listen
remember,
to.
I feel like that story just
Okay,
didn't
first of
die.
all, every single year they
couldn't
do a
remember it.
recap of the Super Bowl's top moments, and Janet Jackson's nip slip is always on it. And I'm
it
like,
was
when are we
essentially
gonna
Justin
let this
Timberlake
go?
was supposed to like rip off a piece of her outfit, and then he ripped off, like, I don't know, the malfunction in the outfit.
my
and,
I've
like,
never even seen it though, but
Yeah.
Yeah, every picture that popped up was just her holding her hand over her chest.
I remember I saw it like a long time ago. People were like sending it around on like BBM.
And like I just feel like the way it was portrayed was as though she did it on purpose. Like for someone like me who didn't know the details, I thought that like, oh, she wore an outfit that showed her boobs,
No,
like showed
not at
her
all.
nipples, and that wasn't the case. So it just makes me, these are like the parts of our culture, like society and in the Western culture, that make me just kind of like shake my head, because I'm like, really? Like Adam Levine's gonna live his life. First of all, worst Super Bowl I've ever seen to date. Sorry, I have to throw that out there.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
I don't think anyone
I don't think
disagrees.
it's fair that Janet Jackson had to get dragged for that. It was just really disappointing.
I don't know. I just think, like, on the topic of boobs, like, it's definitely, I just think about how I'm gonna be a mom, and like how my kids are gonna think about boobs, and like,
I just don't want
cool.
my daughters, if I have daughters, to give their boobs anything on their body
that much
more
power.
power than who they are within. And like that's why I'm so happy, because like, look, we all have different stories. Like I don't have bigger boobs, and I like to hear these stories, because what if my daughter ends up having big boobs? You know what I mean? Like she could.
no, I just think it's really interesting because every woman has a different relationship with obviously her body, but in more specifically her breasts probably. And I think as you go throughout your life as a woman, your relationship with your boobs will change. Like when you're younger, you might find them embarrassing. When you become a little bit older, you realize that they do have a sexual power that you can use to your advantage.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get the flip side of that coin of
When you're
being
older.
objectified for having them, or feeling that gaze be drawn to your chest when you don't want that gaze, or feeling uncomfortable in certain groups of men because of the way that you look and the way that you probably know you're being perceived. And then even when you get to be even older than that and you have more of a relationship with them where you're like happier with them, I feel like I'm in a point in my life where I'm like, you guys
I was
are
thinking
pretty
really
cool.
old.
I was
No,
gonna,
know
I was
you
just gonna
are.
say, I was like, but then I think you go through another cycle of when you get like even older, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my boobs are not the same as when I was younger.
Yeah.
And like now.
Oh, we're so beautiful though. Women are so cool.
Yeah.
I sound
And
so
I
slick.
think we can all
we are.
agree that everyone should have the opportunity to free the nip. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you literally. I'm not talking about someone who's like drugged off their mind, running around the streets topless. I'm talking about like, if you need to like friggin' change your shirt, I don't think a police officer should grab you and arrest you or charge you or fine you. Like,
why can men walk around in the summer shirtless and it's not a big deal? At a park, you could see a guy shirtless with a shirt in his hand. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Nobody's gonna arrest you.
Like, I don't think you, as a woman, you should have to pay a fine. Like, I'm just like, I agree with that.
It's a very taboo topic that is, honestly, for the fact that it's 2019 and boobs are still regarded so...
Such a big deal.
Yeah, they're
Like-
still given so much power as a part of your body. We don't see women's breasts in TV shows. We don't see them in movies. We see men, but...
I mean, I feel like
we
see them
do
a lot more
in
now. And it hasn't
TV.
changed that they're still super sexualized. Like, when we see them, it's in a sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not...
1000%.
You'll never...
That's
Oh
true.
my god, you'll never like see a guy, like you'll see a guy changing his top and it means nothing, but they'll never show a clip of a woman like putting on her bra. Like,
And it means nothing.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
Actually, you know what?
I feel so weird. Like you only see them.
Working moms literally starts with a group of moms, literally all topless, and they're all just putting their bras back on and putting their shirts on. Yeah.
29.
We love.
I think it's an older show, but sure.
Stand.
And it's a Toronto show. It's based in Toronto. So what up,
Nice.
CBC?
Wow,
Thanks for making
shout
good
out.
content. It's
Thank
a good show.
you. Well, guys,
Free the nip. Just screams it.
do whatever you want. They are
all do it
your
for sure.
boobs.
By the way, this whole time we were filming this completely naked. If that motivates you to go to our YouTube channel.
Thank you. Please subscribe.
Coming up, fake news or not. Hey, what's up, guys? You know what time it is.
You do that a lot with your
I
hands.
do.
Fake news or no?
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Honestly, I'm going to just, from now on, I'm going to just set you up and you're going to always say
Yeah.
fake news or not.
Okay.
One week,
Okay.
can I try?
I'm just kidding, of course.
No.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. I get it.
Esther's thing. I get it.
Whoa. Sorry.
All right. You know, that's just classic us getting carried away. Okay, so you guys ready to play fake news or nah? If you're new, I'll explain the game. I'm going to give
If you're new,
Michelle,
why'd you start on episode 7?
You know,
We
that's
talked
okay.
about this.
That's okay. You guys can listen in any order you like.
It's
Okay?
a welcoming space. Go backwards.
Yeah. Whatever. Get to know us last. But yeah, in case you're new, this is how the game works. So I'm going to give Michelle and Esther 3 headlines, and they have to tell me which headline is the correct one. Okay? Do we need to do a recap of the score?
I think to be truly
that's
honest,
all that
nobody knows
matters.
what the score is.
What is
I'm
the score?
Why
winning.
don't you keep score? It's your
It's
game.
been
No, but
6
I'm-
episodes and I'm winning.
I'm
think
pretty
she's
sure
winning
that you
by
both
one.
lost.
3-2.
You both lost one.
Yeah, but we both lost one, but it's still
3-2.
3-2.
So you're losing.
Yeah, make me say it again.
She's like, frankly, I don't remember. All right, you guys
You
ready?
should write that down.
That it's 3-2.
All right. I'll write it right here. First headline. Woman gave hospital okay to terminate life support for dying brother. Turns out he wasn't her brother.
Ooh.
Classic mix-up, am I right?
You know, that's like a regular problem.
Oh, yikes.
And second one is, student has been using company credit card to pay for booze, clubs, and Airbnbs.
I mean, that sounds...
Sounds like what I wish I could have done during my internship. I
Yeah,
wanted
right.
to do that so many times. Did not do that. Thank you
Good
for
for you.
my time there.
Honesty's best policy. And the last one is, Snoop Dogg is facing legal charges for a legal cannabis company in Canada.
Why would it be illegal?
Weed is legal
oh, wait,
here.
But like, we
I mean,
can't
there's a lot of
really
rules
open
behind,
shops.
yeah.
just
I
like
think he'd just
that.
be like, start a company.
Snoop Dogg would be the good one to do it, though.
Yeah, he should, for sure.
Snoop Dogg, get in on this. I am lucky in my answer.
Okay.
Oh, guess who locked it in first this week?
Dang, locked it in.
Locked in the love.
Okay.
Mine is locked in
Locked
too.
Locked
What is
in?
yours?
All right. What's your answer?
The first one. Woman gives
The first one?
okay for life
That's
support.
correct.
My choice is the student who uses company credit
What
card.
a safe frickin' choice.
Rock and drop. All right. Are we ready for a drum roll? Last time we got that real mixed up. And the winner is Michelle. Yeah. Isn't that crazy, though?
I mean, I shouldn't be
Weird.
cheering. I
Like,
did
that
cheer
was
for a
Yeah.
death.
I was so ready for you to be like, well, here's a twist. It was her uncle. But not really.
Not really here? No.
Oh,
It
No,
was actually
she
not.
damn
No,
well.
no.
It was not her
it in
brother.
Florida, Texas?
Which state was it? Because it must have been
New
America.
York.
Oh, wow.
But basically, I could like read you the whole article, but I'm
No,
not going
don't.
to do that.
Jesus.
I'm not going to do that. But like, because the article's not about the incident per se, but it's about now that she's suing this hospital for giving her incorrect information, obviously. But apparently this woman literally was like on the, like next to her brother, thought it was her brother. Apparently they have similar names. Like, I don't even understand how that confusion happens, and gave her the wrong information. She's obviously wasn't close with her brother for like a very long time. So they called her as in like your brother's
This
dying.
is so sketch. First of all,
You're-
he didn't have any other people to call if they haven't seen each other in a long time. Second of all, what is he, in a coma or something that you couldn't see his face? Was he unrecognizable? Third of all, her brother was fine and she didn't even try to call him.
Apparently they didn't have a good relationship, so.
So she was the one who got to decide if he died or not.
That's your only blood relative that they can contact.
That's weird. Also,
No, that's
that like
wrong.
an estranged relative can make that choice for you.
I don't think they can.
I don't
Wouldn't
think they
you have
can.
to have
I feel
a
like
contact
you have to be on
information?
some. Could you imagine? Like he just never updated his emergency contact info.
But-
That could be. a
Wait,
thing.
where do
for
you
the record,
even
he didn't actually.
die?
She didn't actually make the call. Like it, they figured out. Like she was posed with the question,
Oh.
essentially made the decision, realized, oh shit, this is all a mistake.
Oh, okay, so the guy did not die.
Well, I'm not really sure.
We don't know
I don't know
what
if
happened to
someone
him.
else decided to pull the plug, but
Oh my
Yikes.
god.
So wait. Okay.
yeah. But now
this is
she's
all-
suing essentially because
Good, yeah.
that's really
Because
messed
she's
up.
like, well, really, you dragged me into this. I'm gonna make some coin.
But maybe she wasn't. I don't know. It's a weird story.
That's effort on her
They didn't
part.
put a
Good
lot
for
of
her.
information. A lot of it was just essentially that she's suing because confidential
Would I
information
sue?
and how it
Wow.
was mixed up.
I don't know if I'd sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Effort.
So congrats, Michelle.
Thank
so
you.
the twist is the other ones were somewhat true, but I just changed them.
Mixed it up.
Mixed it up. So Esther, your option, it actually was Ryerson student uses like the school's credit card to spend money on booze and clubs and Airbnbs.
Wow.
That's bad.
Isn't that crazy?
God.
Yeah.
Is that what you're teaching your students, Ryerson?
Yeah, Ryerson. We
So-
don't have a problem with you, but we do.
So apparently the charges were like up to $250,000.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so take
This
that
person
in.
said, I'm never going to get caught.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, party.
Wow, yikes.
College life.
Oh my God.
And they gave a little breakdown actually of the list of places they spent the money at, which I thought was really interesting. So, $2,000 at Rec Room. Love it. New spot in Toronto if you've ever been.
Cool, cool.
EFS.
Wow, that's expensive.
Yeah, which I was like, whew, ballers. They spent like $3,000 at EFS.
Disgusting. They definitely got a booth.
Casino Rama, LCBO.
They went to Niagara.
Yeah, Shisha Bar in Mississauga, Hayes Lounge. Do you know that?
Yes.
I don't. Do you?
I've never
I know
been.
that.
I don't
I
really
just
know
know.
Mississauga, so. But yeah.
You know that?
No.
Oh.
Yes, I did. I mean, but I don't.
wow.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so apparently
Wow.
they're still looking into it to confirm like everything
Wow.
was him that did it, but there's a lot of unaccounted for
No,
things.
that's crazy. That means that they really were not on top of it. Because
Yeah.
I interned at Bell Media, and they were always on top of that. Like they kept
Checking charges.
every receipt. Like
Yeah, you have to
if
give
there was
all the
ever
receipts.
unsure, but even then, like to follow up and be like, okay, you bought this. Like this
Yeah.
is a thing. So Ryerson, you're slacking.
Ryerson said, here's
Yeah.
a credit card. We'll see you at the end of the semester.
Like you give a credit card to a bunch of broke college students,
Seriously,
like
strap
Not
it.
okay.
no.
Strap it.
And the last and final one is it was actually Snoop Dogg. This is actually interesting. So Snoop
Doggy
Dogg
Dogg.
is actually facing legal charges for a cannabis company logo resembling the Toronto Maple Leafs. Isn't that funny?
Cannabis company logo.
So he wants to start
I mean, it's
a
all
cannabis
leaves.
company,
Aw.
and it looks like I could show you it. I'll put it on the video if you guys want to see it. But
Right here.
right here, I'll put it right here. But yeah, no, it looks like the
Toronto Maple Walnuts.
it's like a gold maple leaf, and this is like yeah. So they're
Wow.
so they're a little concerned
Well,
about
obviously
it.
they are suing him because that is
I don't know if they're
a
suing him, but
copyright
they're
infringement
they
or
gotta
whatever.
really there you go.
Okay,
And
that's
it's
just a
literally-
maple leaf. Like, don't be dumb.
Leafs
That's
by
not the
Snoop.
by
logo.
Snoop, as you can see.
Yeah, it's
That's
called-
not how you spell leaves.
Leaves. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's the thing, because it's like leaves.
Leaves by Snoop. Sounds weird.
Leaves.
But when you say leaves, I guess
Leaves.
because it's like weed, so they're trying to be like,
Leaves?
You know what? I kind
Trendy
of
and
like
cool.
get in the sense you can't just. We know the Leafs are
A
Leafs.
team.
yeah.
Team,
I know
so-
it just
Yeah,
kind of
so-
tarnishes it a little bit.
Scoop,
And
I think you
people
would
are
have
gonna
been
run
fine
at
if
that.
you had to spell leaves correctly.
Yeah.
No
That's
tea, no
my,
shade. Anyways, congrats, Michelle.
Yeah,
That is the
thanks, I
game.
deserve it.
Thanks.
Wait, that was all of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Well, we're still tied, so you're not really winning.
Oh.
Oh, well. I'm going to slash your tires after this.
I have an idea for a speed round next week, so
Oh!
stay tuned, guys.
You guys are going to take a bunch of speed and play.
Yeah, essentially.
Guys, don't you think we have, like, the coolest listeners?
Yeah, definitely. Which is why we want to hear your ideas.
Because we think those are pretty cool, too.
We want to give you guys the stuff that you want to hear, so don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave us a review.
Okay, so this episode is going to have a little check-in theme because I am checking in with one of our first episodes. So
Oh, and that's weird because I totally mentioned Victoria's Secret.
that's true. So in the Victoria's
Right.
Secret episode, we did mention some other lingerie brands that we like who celebrate diversity, inclusivity, body image, body positivity, all that kind of stuff. And we mentioned that we all like Aerie. And this week is actually about Aerie. So, about 2 weeks ago, Aerie launched a new campaign called Aerie Real Role Models, featuring 8 to 10 women. I think there was maybe 6 to 8 that were new, and then a couple of them, like Iskra Lawrence, is already a model for them, so she's not. They had an earlier series of this, and now they're launching a new one. So essentially, it is their campaign that features real women across different industries and with different body types and different backgrounds, and they focus on the body positivity, what makes them feel good. So they do interviews with each woman, and they talk about what makes them feel good and what is a value to them and what they're bringing to the table. And it's just really great because I think younger women who are shopping at Aerie and buying from Aerie, even me, like whatever, even women our age, can really appreciate seeing women who are more than just their bodies, who are more than just models, who are more than just a face in underwear.
Yeah.
Women that we recognize, like Jamila Jamil, who we've already featured on here, Busy Phillips, Ali Raisman. So the list is Busy Phillips, who is a late night actress, and she has her own TV show. She has her own talk show now. So a strong woman who's in media. Samira Wiley, who is an LGBTQ advocate and actress. Jamila Jamil, who we all know is very outspoken about self-worth and is an activist and has an iWay account, and very much a champion for women and females. And then Brenna Huckabee, who is a Paralympic snowboarder. So you have someone who has a visible disability. She's an amputee. Yeah. And then you also have Molly Burke, who is a Canadian motivational speaker and YouTuber who is blind. You have Ali Raisman, who was an Olympic gymnast. You probably all know the story. And sexual assault advocate. Iskra Lawrence, who is a model. Cleo Wade, who is a poet and a feminist. And Jenna Kutcher. So you have all these women coming together in this campaign, and they're all different shapes and sizes, which is amazing. They come from all different backgrounds and walks of life, and it's just really nice. It promotes women's empowerment, and obviously Aerie commits to using no retouching, and it's really nice. I think that for us to have seen that when we were younger would have been really good.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because you're talking about Aerie, and I didn't even know we were going to be discussing Aerie, but literally yesterday, my friend was showing me bathing suits on the Aerie site because she was like, oh, they have a sale, like you should go check them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even know they had bathing suits. And I was looking at the site, and I was like, she was like, oh, and I also love their site because they have like all these like very natural looking models.
Oh,
and she's like,
not even that.
Oh.
It gets better.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she was like just showing it to me like in passing kind of thing. I was like, yeah, like I love looking at their bathing suits because I don't feel bad. Like she's like, I actually feel like I can wear this stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. I didn't even know they did that. Like I didn't know anything about Aerie in that way. So I was like, oh.
They also have this feature on their site, which I love and I know you love too, where if every single bathing suit, they show, you can select your like breast size or what size you would wear, and they show it on like a model who's your size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which
so
is so innovative. I feel like it really makes you feel like, okay, like this, I could do this.
Yeah, especially because like I feel like, especially on the topic of boobs this episode, like that was a huge thing, was bathing suits.
Yeah.
I hated shopping for bathing suits because I felt like they never fit, and like I was always like falling out of them, or like.
Or it was hard to know what they would look like
because it's not, the model has like doesn't have boobs like I do, so I'm like I can't even relate. I have no idea what it's gonna look like. And shopping online, I always felt that too because I'm like, I just write it off. I'm like, nope, there's no point.
No, like, they have like every style of suit that they sell, and I don't know, they might do this on underwear as well, but I was just checking out the bathing suits, and you see, if you like selected like cross back, then you'd be able to see it on like an A cup, a B cup, a C cup, a D cup, and if you selected like a cheeky bottom, you'd be able to see it on like a size small, medium, or large to see how cheeky it would be on your bum if you're like wearing a size large and you're like a bigger girl.
Interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm definitely gonna look into getting some, because I want some new bathing suits for summer for sure. So
I love them, and I just bought a pair of leggings from them. Like I love their clothes. It's all really soft. But I just think like in 2019 it's really important to find brands that make you feel good, which I know we've talked about this before, but like even the girlfriend leggings, like I was saying, like it makes me feel good because they include in their advertising models from extra extra small to 6XL. Like they include every type of body, a lot of diversity, and it's like
so many sizes.
You just can't accept anything less anymore. Like it's really, in this kind of society where you are a consumer, your money is your vote. What you spend your money on is what is going to succeed versus what is going to fail. So when I buy something from a fast fashion retailer like H&M or Zara, I feel like trash about myself. I buy from H&M because frankly they have cheap basics, and
sometimes it's convenient.
Sometimes you have to. Yeah, sometimes you do. But when I have the money to put into something like Aerie, who takes the time to use models and come out with new campaigns that can inspire the girls that I would have been. Like, I would have loved to see that at that age, to have seen girls who were plus sized, to see girls who looked like me, to see girls who looked like my classmates, and to know that not every underwear or swimsuit model has to be a size 0 and have huge boobs and be blonde and blue-eyed. Like, it's just, that's what I feel like we should all be supporting. And especially with Aerie, like, they make it like very strategic where they'll use YouTube because they know that the kind of girl who shops at Aerie is probably an avid YouTube watcher. Yeah. Like younger girls who are like doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like that generation loves YouTube for sure. So they will they have filmed this entire campaign to just be like for YouTube, essentially. Like they didn't really try to focus on anything else. So you can watch different interviews with every single one of the like different role models, and you want to, they've made it so that you can easily access it through YouTube and Instagram, and it's like, this is what brands have to do now to survive. And
I like that because it makes you feel like the brand isn't just selling you something. Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, we understand. Yeah, like we understand. Exactly. Like we get that, it's about selling something, but if you can put a little more into it, I think that means a lot.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like when you're taking the time to research what your target audience is, what they want to see, what they care about, and how they want to see it, and you're hitting all of those things, like you're going to hit sales. Like it just like 1 + 1 = 2. When you put the time into your consumer, they're going to want to buy your product. And I think Aerie does a great job of that. The fact that they do no retouching is huge. And I just don't think retouching should be allowed anymore in 2019. But like I said, it's really important, I think, to support brands who make a good effort and like make you feel good as a buyer too.
Yeah, and I think it's cool that like when you said, oh, these women are not models per se, like they do things, like one of them has a talk show host, activists, advocates, like
athletes,
and athletes. For me, that's like a big deal because it made me just realize like, why does a model always have to be just that, a model? And that's not to discredit any models. And it's not an easy job. But, like, it's very personable when you realize, like, you're selling this product for average women. So you should have, or, like, not average women, but, like...
real women.
Real women. You should have some real women. Even if it's in just a campaign, at least you're doing something. Which I know Aerie does way more. I'm just saying for other brands who haven't even... dabbled in this. I feel like they should at least start with a campaign. So shout out to Aerie. They make me feel good. Like even just browsing their site, I kind of feel like a lot less guilty when I'm browsing their site because I'm like, hey, if I spend money here, I'm supporting a good brand anyway. So
exactly, it's true. Anyways, guys, feel free to comment on our Instagram or send us a message about any brands that you guys love that make you guys feel good, because we are always into spending money and we need some more good brands to support. So hit us up. And this is like our multiple woman of the week because it was more of a
know.
check.
I like that.
There were a lot of them, yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this week's episode of Woahman. We hope you all have an amazing family day. If you don't spend it with family, spend it on yourself. Go out, take yourself on a walk.
Because you're your own family at the end of the day. Trust in no one.
That's dark. That's really dark.
Thank you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WoXman.
And subscribe to our YouTube at Woahman.
Yeah, and leave a review, little star
Come on.
Apple Music.
We deserve it. We're all stars.
We appreciate it.
And we seriously hope that you guys had a great Valentine's Day and that you all went to Bone Town.
Bye.
Amazing. Little bit.
Is it all right?
It's more cozier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like this, okay?
Okay.